One of the new additions to Conan's Bazaar is the Aquilonian Secret Passages set. Concealed doorways have long been requested, and this set finally adds them into the game without having to rely on mods, but is it worth purchasing? Let's find out today. Firstly, full disclosure, the Aquilonian Secret Passages bundle was given to me by Funcom themselves. Nevertheless, as with past sponsorships, that will not factor into this review. I'll be as honest here as I would be if I'd spent my own hard-earned money on this set. So, without further ado, let's get started. The Aquilonian Secret Passages bundle was added to the Bazaar with the Chapter 3 update, and if it's not on the Bazaar when you're watching this video, it will eventually roll back around. The bundle costs 1,414 Crom coins, around $12, down from an apparent price of 2,020 coins. The bundle consists of 3 items: a bookcase door, a carpet hatch door, and a wardrobe door. So with that, let's start off by looking at the one that grabbed my eye first, the bookcase. This is a pretty nicely designed bookcase using rich wooden textures. The bookcase bears various golden accents and symbols, including a trim at the top and icons on each column. Each column also has a pretty nice carving of a lion, which adds to the opulence. The books themselves aren't all different, but they are laid out differently enough to not look like a copy and paste. The books and the bookcase have a pretty low texture quality if you look very closely, but that isn't apparent if you're not deliberately zooming in to find those textures. A lot of the books also have icons and symbols pertaining to sorcery, which is a very nice touch. The bookcase opens via a central section swinging outwards, and the rear side is a flat wood panel. Overall, a very nice rendition of a bookcase that many library builds will benefit from, and its function as a door is not only fitting but complementary. Next, the carpet door. This trapdoor is concealed beneath a red carpet. The carpet fits the Aquilonian theme nicely, but being red, it's a nice change of pace from the usual blue and yellow. The carpet is a bit worn, as you'd expect, but not in a trashy kind of way. It's very rustic and feels very much like an item that has lived in a building for a while. The carpet design is framed with Aquilonian motifs, with a flourish in each corner surrounding a Lotus style symbol that holds a lion's head in the centre. The design of this carpet is very nice, and it will probably fit in rustic builds really well. The trapdoor opens by rolling the carpet back and then popping open. It's a pretty satisfying animation, and the trapdoor itself is identical to the stone brick hatch door. Overall, this is a very nice piece. It fits an interesting niche and works well as a secret entrance to a basement. Finally, the wardrobe. This is probably the most universally useful option for reasons I'll cover in a moment. Visually, it's similar to the bookcases, using the same warm and rich wood with Aquilonian motifs and gold accents. Unfortunately, the texture on the front door panel is very flat, which is a shame, as the texture they've chosen to use would work really well with a more 3D feel. The wardrobe itself works very nicely as a doorway, with the front doors opening outward and the rear doors sliding to the side. This opening animation is pretty good and definitely makes it feel unique compared to the bookcase. The reason I think this doorway is probably the most universally useful option is that it doesn't have to be used secretly. It could work well as a normal doorway, especially to something like a study or a walk-in closet. Overall, the wardrobe keeps the theme consistent across the set and feels unique with its opening animation. It's very flexible outside of the niche of a secret entrance, but it is let down a bit by the 2D texture on the front side doors. So with the contents of this bundle covered, where does it fall in terms of value? Well, I think the items included are very nice. They fit a niche I've been wanting to use for a while, and it's nice that I can finally do that without having to rely on mods. The items are generally well designed aside from the flat textures on the front of the wardrobe. However, is it worth nearly $12? In my opinion, no. Don't get me wrong, if you're a role player or an avid builder, you might get a lot of use out of these. I know that I will, as the latter. However, if you think you might only use these items infrequently, I wouldn't say it's worth spending $12 on. I've said many times before, my philosophy for in-game stores is price low, sell more, and I think this is the perfect example of that. If this set was say $5 or $6, I would give it a glowing recommendation for builders and role players. The PvE and especially the PvP folk likely won't get much use out of this set, so it is clearly targeted at those communities that would use it frequently. But I just think $12 is a bit too high. I think it's a symptom of the overall issue with the Bazaar pricing being too high across the board. To be honest, if these items hadn't been given to me by Funcom, I probably would have bought this set regardless, because I know I'll get a lot of use out of them. This set is by no means bad. I think the overall quality is good, but I would recommend really thinking about how much you would use these items before you purchase them. Thank you for watching, and as always, let me know what you think of this bundle in the comments below. I think it's important to give honest and fair feedback, and whilst I do really like this set, the price point is just too high in my opinion. I'll also be covering the Disciples of Bazaar set soon, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that video. As always, a massive thank you to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. Again, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you soon.